So Taylor stays with us. Amanda Ruller joins us here in the bunker, which I believe, Amanda, is your Rod Pedersen Show debut. Am I right in saying that?
That's right. Correct.
So you do so many things that I don't even know what I would introduce you as.
I don't know.
What would social media star?
Professional badass? Can I say that?
There you go.
I don't know if I can say that, but I wear many hats. Like I'm a football speed coach, as well as I work for Tourism Saskatchewan now, creating content for iHeart Tourism campaign. Work on In the Huddle with you. So that's awesome. I love doing that kind of stuff. Social media influencer, tons of companies hire me to go to events, speak on their behalf. And I have my own training program online, do tons of stuff. So
you're crushing it in life from what I can see.
I think so. I'm doing okay.
Good.
I just turned 31. So I've done a lot of stuff so far.
You know what's funny about that? I just went to the washroom in the break, and I wanted to ask you on the air. I'm thinking, what am I going to talk to Amanda about? I'm going to ask you how old you are, and then I was like, not supposed to ask a woman there. Taylor, how old are you? Can I ask men?
I'm 29.
You're 29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is where, I've known of Amanda for a few years. First time you came into my radio studio and came on the air, we were doing, a Monday show there, talking football. And you had just finished a season with the Los Angeles, what? Was it the
Los Angeles Temptations.
Temptations.
Yeah. And then I was on the Atlanta Steam, and then I did a stint with Team Canada Women's World Football Team in 2017.
Right, so professional football player, which is a hell of a story there. We're going to get into all of it this morning. And then you were the Riders in stadium host.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah.
And then probably one of the coolest things was you went, what was the movie about the WWE, the training camp in Orlando? Did you watch that movie?
I haven't seen it yet, but
you've heard about it.
I went to a WWE tryout.
Right, so it was the same.
Myself, but it's the same kind of,
So right now, tell me about that, please. Trying out for the WWE, how that went.
Oh, okay. So when I was the game day host for the Riders, they actually saw me on the mic, and they're like, this girl has a good mic presence. Let's bring her down.
The WWE?
Yeah, the WWE. Through the grapevine, someone had seen me, and so-and-so contacted so-and-so. They invited me down. So immediately I got nervous.
Orlando?
To Orlando, to the main training center in Orlando. Kind of got nervous because I've never wrestled before, but I've done tons of sports, track and field, soccer, as you know, football. I was on the Canadian bobsled and skeleton team, as well as I compete in Olympic lifting. So I have kind of a background to be able to go through these
And over
tryouts.
100,000 Instagram followers. Let's not forget, which helps, right?
Yeah, of course. A social media kind of influencer.
Right.
Motivator, I'd like to say. So I got down there, and they put us through 2-a-days, kind of even 3-a-days, because we did lifting weights. And they showed me how to take a bump without a helmet on at first. And then they're like, we're just going to put a helmet on you just to... Because I was doing flips. I'm so athletic. I was running and doing flips into it because I wanted to show them what I have. Like, I have this...
If they ask you to do a bump, what does that mean? Because that means different things in my world.
Different things.
What does that mean in your world?
It's literally like just falling back and just taking a hit on the stage, on the mat. It's not.
Okay.
It's not as soft as you think. Like, they make it look so
make it look easy.
They make it look easy, and they get up, but it is tough. It is tough. So you go back and you have to make it look...
It's got to be loud.
It's got to be loud. So you got to put your hands... That's why I'm slamming them down, because they showed me how to do it with some sort of emphasis and pizzazz. And then we learned how to flip into it and everything. And then we learned to run the rope. So you run back and forth and hit off of it and run back and forth. I got some bruises on my back from hitting them so hard, which was so cool. And it was an awesome experience. And a lot of people threw up on the first day because they weren't conditioned.
This was all on the first day?
This was on the first day because they weren't conditioned. And I've been in tons of different sports, so I was able to get through that day. I was definitely hurting. Didn't let it show on my face the next day, got back in there, and we went for, I think, 5 or 6 days straight of that 2-a-day, and I made it through. And the first day...
Was Chris Jones running this?
No.
Sounds like it.
We had to cut a promo on the first day, and I'm not a wrestler, but I got in there and I said, I don't do wrestling, but I'm going to cut you a real-life promo. And I told them about my life in 2 minutes, and I made people cry because I was that motivational type of person.
And I've seen it.
And I actually heard from other people that work in the WWE that it was a very good promo. They were very excited about it. So Yeah.
I love Orlando. It's such a great town. Now, could you go back and try out again, or what's your future with WWE? Do you think?
I'm not sure. Like at this point, they kind of, I think they took one person total from our group, and it was a large group. I think 45 people plus, and they only do 2 tryouts a year, which is very cool that I was even considered all the way from Canada to come down. They only brought, I think, me and another Canadian, a guy Canadian, so it was very interesting that they chose me to come out. I haven't heard anything back from them, but maybe, fingers crossed, they'll keep seeing me. And I tweeted at them the other day with that Cold Stone picture.
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
yeah.
Well, Brett Boha writing us on the Facebook feed says, "Fighting with Family," I do believe it's called. And that's what the movie's all about, what Amanda's talking about.
There we go.
And the guy that put them through the paces was Vince Vaughn, the guy that worked for the WWE, which several people say I remind them of, or vice versa, which is hilarious. Jason Sudeikis and Darren DuPont get that, and people always say that Vince Vaughn would play me in the movie if there's ever a movie, which is funny. The other thing, you and I did some windshield time together when we were driving across the province in the SJHL finals for SaskTel Max TV Local, which was awesome. That's where we really got deep with the talks, right?
Yeah.
And on that motivational thing, correct me if I'm wrong, but you went down to LA, tried out for the Temptations, you got cut, and you said, "I'm not leaving."
That's exactly what happened. So
I'm showing up for practice tomorrow. I'm not leaving. And you ended up making the team.
So I drove all the way to Los Angeles because I saw it on TV, and at the time there wasn't any women's football here. Now there is. I drove all the way there, and I did a tryout, like an open tryout, all by myself. Took me a couple days, and they said no. They said I was too short. I was fast.
You're 5'0".
I'm 5'0". I ran the 40. I nailed it, and they said I was too short. And I was like, no, I came all the way here. I'm going to make this happen for me. It wasn't an option for me to come home. And I said, when are your practices? And I just showed up with my gear, ready to go. I was warming up. Everyone else was warming up. I said, put me in, please, just let me practice with you guys. So I started practicing. And then eventually they're like, okay, you made the team. And everyone cheered at that point because they knew it was such a struggle for me to go down there. No family, no friends. You know, it's a different country altogether. Didn't know what I was doing, didn't know where I was staying. I just went, and I made it happen for me. And I think that's very rare because not a lot of people would take that chance, take that risk in life because, you know, in Regina, it's very comfortable. I know my gym. I have my home. It takes me 10 minutes to get anywhere. But there, it was a different lifestyle. But I made it work for me and figured it out.
So you're doing motivational speaking on that. Is that one of the things you talk about?
Yes, yeah, especially that because it's just taking a chance in life because life is too short. And I had my father kind of taken away. He had passed away from brain cancer. And that was the minute I woke up and I was like, I got to live this life. I got to do whatever I can to keep going and make this a great life and live for him because he can't live. So that's what motivates me to go do that. And I do motivational speaking at schools. And I was actually at a school the other day, and I was speaking to them about it. But the most interesting part is I was like, kids, guess how old I am? And they said like 20, 15. One kid said 15. I'm like, well, thank you. And when I said 31, they blew up. They're like, wow, that's so cool. So I said, kids, you got to exercise, you got to eat right, and you could look this good at 31. So I'm glad you asked my age.
Oh, okay. I'm glad. Okay. Well, your dad would be very proud for sure. I'm very proud, and I barely know you. But lastly, Taylor, you jump in any time. But you got international headlines with Stone Cold Steve Austin just within the last couple weeks. So tell our viewers and listeners about that if they didn't already know.
Well, I was on Swinging with the Stars, and we had a WWE theme for us because I had done the tryout. So I was like, I'm going to put a little of my personality into this dance because I don't know how to dance. And I did the Stone Cold Stunner to my partner, and I grabbed 2 beers. I got a cool picture, really, really cool picture with my biceps out. And
guns out.
With guns out, yeah. And I tweeted Stone Cold Steve Austin on Twitter, and I put us side by side. Pictures are identical. I might have bigger arms. I don't know if he's watching.
But he'd done the same thing, right?
He does the same thing. It was textbook. He actually tweeted me back because I said, who did it better? And he chimed in, which was amazing. He said textbook form. He's not a kinesiology major, but maybe a different
angle of your arm. Yeah, I read it.
Which was amazing. So I tweeted him back. I said, hey, maybe we should do this live to compare, but
still waiting.
Still waiting.
You said that you're not a wrestler, but Alan Lai is writing in. He said, what is your dream match? What would be your finisher move? So if you weren't a wrestler before you went to WWE camp, did you come back with more of a love of pro wrestling? Like, could you answer those questions? So you would like to fight in a match, or what your finishing move would be?
I would love to go in the ring with Stone Cold for sure, or
just to drink a beer.
Or Ric Flair, just to do a finishing move. I'm really athletic, so I think I'd maybe just do a backflip off the top of the ropes. I feel like that would be an amazing finisher for me because I am so athletic, and it would be a stunner for sure. So
Clark, our producer, wants to know, Taylor, what would your finishing move be? Are you a wrestling fan?
Wow.
I
would tag in my tag team partner, and then she would do the backflip off the top rope, and then I would just,
You're doing a lot of work, are you not, Amanda, with SaskTel?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're doing tons of stuff with the community, especially during events, and I love being local and doing some social media and stuff with them. So it's great.
Well, when you're doing all these interviews, like the SJHL thing, you're doing that, and then you're doing In the Huddle with us. You're running around interviewing the riders. You're interviewing people in the park.
Yeah.
Like, what's weird about that? Is it hard to come up with questions?
No. Well, the thing about social media, it's very cool. You can be your own network. You don't need this large entity, but I am my own network, which is, I think that's why these companies kind of reach out to me to utilize social media as a platform, because I have my own voice. And I think what's natural about me is I'm so outgoing. I have no shame. I'll walk up to anyone and go be like, hey, can I interview you? And I'm sorry if there's anyone out there that I made feel awkward with my interviews, but I literally went to like events just by myself and be like, can I interview on my own channel? And it's got so much traction. I even use like a microphone when I go out, and some people are like, oh, that's lame. But you know what? No one else is doing it. So I just like to do things no one else does. And that might be weird or different, but it's just me, and I want to be my own channel, and I think that's something cool.
I saw you walking around in the North Battleford Civic Center with that mic. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Well, just shoving it in people's faces. I'm like, that's what I used to do. I know that it works. It's fun, but it sure catches people off guard, doesn't it?
Of course. Well, especially like
it's like a Letterman segment.
When you have, I like to utilize Instagram Live or Instagram videos. A lot of people see that. So if I have 100,000 followers and I post that just on that channel and another channel, that might hit 200,000 people at the end of the day. So that's a pretty large station when you look at it all together. So
I will end this on this. It looks, well, I know we're going to have a hobo donuts eating contest at a tailgate party for the Regina Rifles before a Saskatchewan football game. You've inserted yourself in this competition.
Yes, I have.
Do you actually think that you could win it?
Excuse me? Yes, I can. Yeah, I'm a big competitor. As you know, I've done so many sports, so bring it on. Was that scary? Were you scared?
Not even a little bit.
I think you were. Like, I could feel it.
Well, I'm more scared of this guy that's writing in right here, Jesse Robson, who goes by the ring name Thrillin' Dylan. He goes, I'm wondering if you have any interest showing up on the local wrestling scene. We have some great talent and great fans, and I've been at his events. They're outstanding. He has inserted himself in the donut eating contest. He scares me. He's a big guy. You're 5 foot. Like, how many hobo donuts do you think you could put away? Do you think like you could win this thing against somebody that's literally twice your size?
I think so, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see.
Maybe. I guess we're going to see.
You know what?
4, 5,
After listening
6.
to her for the last 5 minutes,
she can pretty much do anything.
You're like, oh, man.
She's going to win. No matter. Yeah, I'm going to put my money on her. She won't take no as an answer. She made a football team based on the fact that
I'm not leaving.
I said no.
She's not going to lose this donut eating competition.
Okay.
I don't like losing.
Who does?
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Well, we will have, what do they say? Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I hope you're around. We're hoping Labor Day weekend that we'll do this.
Okay.
You going to be around?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Amanda Ruller with us on the Rod Pedersen Show.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.